Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, I went on Instagram, or for today's video, I went on Instagram and I asked you guys to send me in any of your dilemmas, and I am hoping to give you guys some good advice and basically just respond to your dilemmas. So in these types of videos, I always say this, I'm gonna say it again, but if you do want to get involved in videos like this in the future where you're sending me questions or dilemmas, make sure you follow me on my Instagram at Selina Ozay. I'll put it on the screen now, and that way you can be involved, because that is where I get all my questions from when I do these kinds of videos. Let's just get into this video. No one likes a long intro. I'm gonna start with, we care about each other and have love without commitment. He said he doesn't want a relationship. Should I leave or stay? It depends what you want. If you want commitment and you want a relationship, then really you need the reality check, and hanging around for him is just doing yourself a disservice. So I personally would say leave, because if you two aren't on the same page, you're just wasting your time waiting around for him. And also, for a lot of guys, they have to lose something to know what they really had. So if you then leave, it could make him realise that actually he does want to commit to you. Do you see what I'm saying? This guy probably likes that you're very available and that you're going along with this whole non-commitment thing. It could potentially make him want you more, but don't do it solely for that reason. Like, you very well may leave and basically never talk to him again, but that is what's right for you. I fancy this boy a lot, who I'm friends with, but my friend has already slept with him. Thought I'd be okay with it, but I'm not. In my head, that's out of bounds to get with someone your friends got with, and I know I shouldn't, but I really like him, and I know my friend would also find it weird. Do I say something or just take the L and move on? I think you take the L and move on, to be honest. Like, girl code, it's just weird if your friend has had a history with this boy and then you start cracking on with him. As you said, you already know your friend would feel a bit weird about that happening. And also, like, is this boy gonna be the love of your life? Probably not. Like, I can't imagine this guy is that amazing that you'd break girl code. Take the L and move on. Especially now, while your feelings haven't, like, developed. Like, you're not saying in this that you're in love with him or anything. Like, you know, I'd say get out now before shit gets real. My boyfriend said that my co-worker's ass and boobs are big while she was right next to us, and both of them were laughing. I later spoke to my boyfriend about it and he said it didn't mean anything, but I don't know what to do. Help. Oh my god. That's not okay. Like, that's not funny. I think him saying it doesn't mean anything is just like a boy's typical instant kind of response to something that has upset you. Kind of like, oh, you're reading too deep into it. How many times have we heard that as women? Oh, but that's not what I meant. Oh, but this, oh, but that. No, but you need to understand that it's made me feel some type of way, and you need to apologize for making me feel this way. So, I don't know, I'd at least expect an apology. I don't think this is anything to, like, break up with your boyfriend about necessarily, but I do think it could be a red flag, because if he's saying this in front of you, like, not to freak you out, but what is he doing when you're not there? Like, what's he doing when he's out with the lads? So I would voice these concerns to him. Obviously, this one conversation hasn't been enough. So I think have a second conversation with him and just tell him, no, it's more serious than this. Like, you can't just say, oh, it was a joke, because it's not funny. I didn't laugh. Second of all, it's actually disrespectful. Why are you saying that next to your girlfriend? And third of all, this makes me concerned because what are you saying and what are you doing when I'm not present? What you need to do is just assure your boyfriend that if this behavior becomes a pattern, you will not be sticking around for it. There will then be a breakup. It's disrespectful. Like, he shouldn't be saying that. Those comments, whether you're there or not, like, it's disrespectful. That's got me heated. Like, that's disgusting. Me and my boyfriend have been in a happy relationship for just under 2 years now, but recently when we spoke about our views on marriage and the future, we realized we differ so much. He doesn't really believe in the concept of marriage and says if he had to get married, he'd rather it be later into his life, say 40 odd. I definitely don't want to wait that long to get married, and he says his view could always change, but I'm not sure if our differing views on the future should mean we break up or if we should stick it out since we are in a happy relationship. Oh, this is difficult, like, it has me thinking. The thing is, it depends if you think you can compromise on something like this. When it's something so big, such as marriage or children, usually people don't compromise on that stuff. And I also think another thing is that often being in love isn't enough to make a relationship work. So although, like, things are really good now, you're in love and stuff, when you actually get to the age where you start thinking, I want to get married now, and he's like, no, your love isn't gonna then save you at that point, if you see what I mean. So although it's great that, like, you're in a really good relationship now, you need to think about that you can't avoid this subject forever. I'm not saying, like, break up with him tomorrow. I think this should be like a mutual conversation where you both talk about it and you both discuss whether you want to stay together or not, despite knowing that at some point you're gonna want different things. So I really think that basically you should just have this conversation with him, maybe this time with a bit more of a serious tone, just being like, do you think you could ever compromise or not? Think about whether you could ever compromise or not. Hi Angel, here's my submission. Been with my boyfriend for 3.5 years and I'm just starting to feel like I'm not a priority or even an afterthought. I'm in my final year at uni, so I only see him when I'm home, so obviously I would like to do stuff, e.g. dates, when I'm home. When I was home for summer, over 4 months, we only ever went out with his family and once just us. I've said to him that I would like to do more stuff together, so we've made plans, but they fell through again. Today I had a family emergency and he knows how much it has affected me, but he's going to a Christmas party, which he previously wasn't going to, now feels like he has to go to. I've had so many family emergencies this year and I just feel like he doesn't even try to support me. He hasn't asked me all day how I am. On top of all that, he can't make a decision who to spend Christmas with or what to get me for Christmas. I don't know what to say anymore. That's so horrible. Oh my god. I just want to give you some reassurance that what you're feeling is totally normal. I'd feel concerned too if I was in your position. It does sound a bit like he's distancing himself from you, which is obviously worrying. But I will also say that you have been together a long time. You've been together for 3.5 years. And if you can hear my dog barking, I apologize. There's construction right now and every time he goes outside, it's like it's the first time he's seen that there's construction. And he'll just bark at it. And it's like, do you not know by now that that is outside? Anyway, you've been together for 3.5 years. And I feel like after that time, a lot of boys just get very comfortable just kind of knowing that they've got you there and they don't feel the need to keep checking up on you. They don't feel the need to hang out with you as often because they kind of just know that you're there. Also, a lot of this does sound a bit shady, like he's purposefully trying to distance himself from you, which is a little bit worrying. So I think either way, to kind of clear that up, you need to just sit down and have a serious conversation with him and just be like, I've already said to you that I want to spend more time with you, but you just aren't giving me enough commitment. I don't feel like I'm a priority in your life. Basically just try and get him to explain himself, because I don't really see how you could confront him with this and he's like, oh, you're just overreacting or you're overthinking it, because these are like facts that you've just written to me. If he's not willing to change and make you a priority, then I'd say you maybe think about breaking up with him, because if he's not going to make you happy, then unfortunately it's not worth your time staying with him. I've recently broken up with my boyfriend because he wasn't appreciating me and everything I did for him, and his morals are very different to mine. But I really fancy him and still have feelings for him. He's now suddenly trying really hard to win me back, so part of me is like, maybe he can change, but the other part of me is like, he should have treated me right in the first place. Stuck on whether to try again or wait till someone eventually comes along who treats me how I should have been treated in the first place. P.S. Love your videos, watched them since you started in my last year at uni now. Always rewatch your videos as they motivate me to get through uni. Oh, thank you, that's so lovely. This is a difficult one. Whether to get back with an ex. It sounds like your breakup is still pretty fresh. I don't know for sure, but it sounds like you broke up with him. Oh yeah, you said I've recently broken up. I'd say give it a bit more time, because what you don't want to do is take him back and then regret taking him back, or him not kind of delivering with his promises to change. He could be saying, I'm gonna change, I want to win you back, just because you're in that initial stage of a breakup where it's very difficult and it's a big shock to the system suddenly being without that person. So this could be him freaking out and giving you all these promises. That doesn't mean he's gonna deliver. Once you are back together with him, you could just go back to square one, where he's said that he's gonna change, but actually once he has you back, he's gonna get comfortable having you back, and he might actually realize, oh shit, like, why did I promise her all these things? Like, actually, you know? So I would give it some time before you consider taking him back, because as I said, this could just be him kind of freaking out. I went to uni far from home, 5 hours away by plane, and my boyfriend stayed in my hometown. I was always the more positive one about long distance than he was. We were quite dependent on each other, so I was worried about being alone at uni, but I got there and realized I was completely okay on my own. It was strange because I didn't really feel that I missed him. About 2 months in, he called me saying that he didn't want a long distance relationship, he couldn't do this, and that it was too hard on him. I thought we were going to break up and I felt heartbroken, but we talked a few days after and he said he was feeling much better about it. I'm back now for Christmas, I've seen him, everything felt normal and perfect again, but I don't think I ever fully recovered from him breaking my heart, because I can't feel the same things as intensely as I used to. I don't think this means like your relationship was doomed just because, you know, he's only human as well, and he's allowed to have doubts, especially about long distance. It is difficult. Like, I mean, I've never been in it. I don't know why I'm saying as if I've experienced it, but I can understand and imagine why long distance is so difficult. I wouldn't be too hard on him for having that kind of mini freak out of not knowing whether he could do long distance for much longer. I think that's normal, and you might find yourself that later down the line you might feel that way as well. You might have some doubts. So you're not working against each other like in a relationship, you're on the same team. So kind of, you know, ask him, well, what can we do to make this better? How can I make this less hard on you? And, you know, come to an agreement, and that way you'll feel like your relationship has gotten stronger. How to deal with relationship anxiety / worrying about whether your boyfriend still likes you. I'd say it depends at what stage of your relationship you're in. In the beginning, it can be quite normal to be a bit worried, especially if you haven't told each other that you love each other yet. It can be a little bit like, oh, like, is he still feeling this? Is he not? I feel like it is a girl thing that we need a lot of reassurance. Like, you know, you're like, I know you said you loved me an hour ago, but a lot can change in an hour. So do you still love me? A lot of guys, as I've said before, when you're in a relationship over a certain amount of time, like they might reassure you less because they feel like, oh, she should know by now, like I've been with her for, you know, a year, I've told her I loved her already, why do I have to say it like 10 times a day? Just accept that just because he's not telling you something doesn't mean he doesn't mean it. Like, a lot of guys just don't like talking about their feelings, they're not very expressive, but also voice to him that that's what makes you feel loved, and hopefully then he can compromise for you, and then he'll be like, okay, well, from now on I'll make more of a conscious effort. How do I get over being cheated on with an ex? As in, he cheated on me with his ex. Oh my god. Block him. That's not, you know, this isn't a guy that you want to stay friends with. That is just disrespectful, straight up, does not deserve to be in your life anymore. So just block him, unfriend him, delete him off everything, don't see him again. Surround yourself with your friends, your family, do things for yourself. Trash. What to do when your uni pal keeps fucking you off when she gets new boyfriend, but I put her before mine. This is one that a lot of friendships go through. When people are like in the honeymoon phase, they want to be all about each other, they're always together. So maybe give it some time to see if this kind of fizzles out, because if it is like the honeymoon stage, then it is kind of normal that you see a little bit less of them. It doesn't even have to be an argument, it's just a conversation where you're like, I really, and say it in a nice way, just be like, I've really been missing you lately, like I'm so happy for you, you know, I can see that you're so happy with your new boyfriend, but I just feel like you're not prioritizing me. I have a boyfriend and I still make time for you. I just, you know, I'd just love to see a bit more effort from you, making time for me. And just be open with her. I get attached way too quickly at the simplest of acts. How do I stop being like this? Girl, we need to let the entire female race know the answer to this. I'm desperate to get back with my ex and he wants to as well, but my friends will kill me. Help. If the only thing holding you back is your friend's disapproval, I don't think that's a good enough reason not to get back with your ex, because your friends don't have to be in that relationship. I don't think your friends should dictate your love life or who you date. I don't think they should have that kind of involvement. I think your friends should be there to support you no matter what, and whatever decision you make. It really depends. I mean, why did you and your ex break up? Because there could be a reason why your friends would kill you for getting back with him. So like, maybe he cheated on you or whatever, but still at the end of the day, they need to respect your decision. You know, you're the only one living your life, and why should you be single and unhappy when you know what you want? Why would you not do that just because of your friend's disapproval? My boyfriend wants an open long distance relationship, but I'm not too keen about the idea. Do you know how much that would piss me off? Okay, if that was me, I think I would have to break up with him. But I don't think that's the dilemma you're asking me. I think, or I don't know what you're really asking me. That's a very serious thing, like whether to be monogamous or polyamorous. That's a very big distinction. You know, it's not, there's not a subtle difference, there's not a middle ground you can compromise on. If you're not, I'm not too keen about the idea, basically that means no. Like, if you are going to enter an open relationship, both people should be sure that they want to. Don't let him kind of sway you into that, because I feel like you've already said it, you're not keen. You know in your gut that you wouldn't be happy in an open relationship. So just stick with your decision to say no. And to be honest, if it was me, I wouldn't want to be with him anymore. My flatmate is having other girls round till 4 AM while he has a girlfriend, and we all feel bad. I'm assuming your loyalty lies with him, but we all know as girls that if we were that girlfriend, we'd want someone to tell us. So It's very difficult, because if it's a guy that you don't know and you know that they've cheated on their girlfriend with one of your friends, say, you know, you don't owe that guy anything. You could then DM the girlfriend and be like, hey, one of my friends got with your boyfriend or whatever, we thought you should know, whatever. But this is your flatmate, so if you cause their breakup, you have to then go on and live with him and have that drama. So it's a very tricky one. It's like when Snooki wrote that note to Sammy, the sweetheart from Jersey Shore. Thoughts on getting back with an ex? Okay, I don't have a lot of context here. I'd say there are a few things to consider. I'd say number one, why did you break up? If you got back with them, would it cause problems second time around? Secondly, what has happened in the time that you've been broken up? Because during a breakup, you really change, and even so, like, time has gone by, things change, circumstances change, you change as people, you grow as people. What has changed that would make this successful second time round? Maybe you're not compatible anymore. Like, you have to also think about that. Like, in that time that you've been apart, you could have gone through major learning lessons, and major things could have happened that have shaped you and changed your personality and your outlook on life, and maybe that doesn't align with their outlook on life anymore, so maybe you're not compatible anymore. And third, you have to decide what would be different this time around, because it didn't work the first time around for whatever reason. What are you guys going to change this time around? So I'd say those are kind of top 3 things to think about. But I'm not someone who's like, oh, you should never get back with an ex is an ex for a reason. I think that's so closed-minded. You know, people break up for loads of different reasons. I'm almost done with college, but my boyfriend doesn't want me to work. He just wants me to be a housewife. I don't know what to do. I love him, but I know this relationship won't work in long term because I have dreams and goals. We hate to see it. No. Nah. I don't understand. Like, he knows you're at college. What does he expect you to do with your degree? With your qualifications? No. And as I've said before, love isn't always enough to make a relationship work. He should want you to be happy. He should want you to use your qualifications to do things with your life. Like, he should be ambitious for you because he loves you. So that just brings up so many red flags to me, and it is really heartbreaking, but it just seems like you have different outlooks on life, and you should never give up your dreams and your goals to please a guy or be with a guy, because that's not worth it. You can definitely find another guy who you fall in love with, who will support your dreams and goals and encourage you to pursue them. This is going to be the last one. I'm in love with a guy who's still stuck up over his ex. What should I do? Girl, you deserve better than that. If he's still stuck up over his ex, he should not be with you, or you should not be with him. So you deserve a guy who's going to be all about you. And like, yes, everyone comes with baggage. Everyone has a past. Everyone has an ex. If he's still not over his ex, then that is on him. He should not have gotten himself into a serious, committed relationship if he knew that was how he felt. I'd say you should just try to move on from him. Hopefully that might also give him a wake-up call and be like, oh shit, like, do you know what? I need to get over my ex. Yeah guys, that is everything for this advice video, dilemma video. I hope this was useful, and let me know if you'd like me to do more of these types of videos. If you did enjoy it, make sure to smash the thumbs up down below, subscribe down below if you haven't already, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.